Hey everyone, and welcome back to Think Serenity. My name is Hayley Phillips, and I'm an energy healer slash kinesiologist that loves doing monthly talks on a variety of topics. The topic for this month was music and entertainment, and I have to be honest, I probably got a bit of a problem using entertainment to procrastinate. And it's because I grew up always with negativity around me and not knowing how to properly express myself. And so I used to distract myself by watching movies that I loved, turning on the TV, watching certain programs and like recording them. And now that Netflix is here, it's a constant distraction for me. Music wasn't really something that I kind of used as a distraction as much because it was hard for me to kind of listen to certain music. But I understand that kind of everybody needs to have an outlet. When things build up inside, we need something to express those emotions in a positive way. And somehow with like music and the things that you watch, it makes you just feel so good and it makes you forget about the problems that you're having. So I understand, basically. And this topic has been really tough for me, which was surprising, because I began realizing that I was sensitive to particular emotions that were coming from certain characters for the movies that I watched. And that sensitivity is partially because I'm empathic, but I've also have a few clients who they're sensitive, they're not empathic at all. And it really comes down to the emotions that you trap down inside. Because when you don't deal with things, you may think that you're burying it and that it'll stay gone. But the truth is we carry it. And sometimes the things that we watch or we listen to, they'll trigger those moments. And I kind of want everybody to recognize that it's those moments when you're triggered, when a certain emotion will stay with you. Because I've watched shows and all of a sudden after I've watched it, I'll become agitated with my family members and my friends, or I'll be really, really super sad, or I'll be passive and I want to reserve myself. Because when we watch, we kind of put ourselves in the feet of the characters. Certain characters are very similar to us. And those feelings, the feelings that those actors are portraying, the words in which they're saying, it resonates with us. Because deep down inside, we've experienced, we've basically experienced the same thing or currently experiencing that same thing. So I think with entertainment, it's a good way to kind of see where we need work in our life and how we can improve. And I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about energy healing and my journey and what I've kind of learned. And the truth is, we really need to let things go. And sometimes it's really hard. And sometimes some people will try and ignore it to their best. And they fill their time up with all this entertainment, or they shadow it with, putting on some music and, going for a walk. But when we start feeling those feelings of being uncomfortable or being super, super angry, we need to recognize what it is in our lives that's causing us to feel the way that we do. And one helpful exercise that I learned in the process of learning about energy healing is the process of tapping. So there's this really nice tough bone here in the center of your chest and your ribs. And whenever I feel like emotions are building up, I'm currently feeling a little bit now in recording this, a little bit of anxiety that, perhaps the people who are watching this won't take something from it. So I'm going to release it. And the best way to release it is just to take a deep breath and to tap and just think in your mind to let those feelings go. So take a deep breath. You're going to tap, release it and let it go. And it's kind of like when a kettle goes to boil. When you breathe in, you feel it, it's bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling, and you tap and you turn it off. So it's bubbling. Feel those emotions that you're feeling that are bubbling up to the surface and be like, okay, let Just go, tap, and exhale. And the cool thing is that you can kind of use this technique whenever you're out and about. You can even cross your arms and kind of take a deep breath. And you can tap your arm instead. Or you can just casually, some people, they might be, I've even been out at the supermarket and done this. Take a deep breath, I just tap, tap. And nobody kind of notices these things. And it's a really good way of releasing what's been building up. Journaling is also something that's really good. As soon as you know that something has triggered you, writing down and expressing your feelings. For me, what helped me with my depression when I was younger was actually writing. I really enjoy writing. I never really thought it was something that I kind of wanted to pursue or wanted to study, but I knew that as soon as I wrote in this world, I could create this character who is going through similar things to me, put in a little bit of myself, and have like an outlet. Okay, what is it, something empowering that she is going to do? And it was always like fantasy based. And so writing was kind of my form of therapy, because I was young and I didn't know that I could go see a therapist, and I wasn't getting what I needed. And so I used that, and I gave them struggles, and it might not be the exact same struggles that I was experiencing, but if I wanted to, I could use magic. I could give people words of counsel. And it was kind of interesting, the way in which certain characters that I wrote that would help the main character, those backup characters, they always had these amazing, inspiring words. And it was my way of giving advice to myself. So I just wanted to let you know, there are different avenues or ways in which to deal with your emotions using entertainment. But just be wise in how you do it. If you know that it's something that you're doing to be able to ignore how you're feeling, then don't do that. If you know, say for instance, that you're worked up and you're angry at someone, sure, great thing. Put on a pair of headphones, listen to a tune to help calm yourself down. And then once you've calmed down, go out somewhere. I think the best thing to do is go out for a run. So I would put my headphones on with my music, go for a run to release and let off some steam. And then while I'm out there, find a bench that's kind of out in nature. Sit down and think about, okay, what is it that upset me? Reflect over the thing that upset you the most. Accept that you can't control other people. You can't make them do the things they want to do. You can't stop them from saying horrible things to yourself. But what you can accept is the way that you feel, because you need to be responsible for your own feelings. What can you do to make this situation better? How could you have handled that situation better? How can you make amends if it's mistakes that you've been able to do? So there are ways of being able to use entertainment as a tool to be able to help ground yourself, to center yourself. And I'm kind of so happy that with social media, there's so much more entertainment and positive resources of self-development. I watched a documentary on healing, and it was amazing. It's actually called Heal, and it talks about alternative methods of healing, so like spiritual healing, shamanic work, Reiki, basically going down to the roots of understanding that if you don't deal with your emotions right now, it can cause a physical health problem. And sometimes it's not. Western medicine will try and find ways of just dealing with the symptoms when you're not dealing with what's at the heart of your issue. And so sometimes you need alternative therapies to kind of look into what you're doing. And it was just refreshing to understand that the human body has an amazing ability to heal. But what stops it from healing is all the emotional stuff. So once you get rid of all the emotional stuff, your body can actually start healing a lot better on its own. And there are so many other positive motivational speakers. There are podcasts by people who teach yoga and meditation and Reiki and different forms of psychology where they go deeper into our understanding of ourselves. Because life's all about trying to improve ourselves, trying to be better. We want to have the best, happiest life possible. But it starts with you and the choices that you make. So I just wanted you to kind of reflect over those things. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. I'm still on a journey of trying to make and produce content that improves and instructs and is better. So if there are any ideas, please feel free to put something down. Normally in these videos I'll put in a topic for the next month, but I'm kind of changing the structure as to the themes for every month and what I'm going to talk about. So I'll put it up on Instagram. Until then, my name is Hayley Phillips, and I'll catch you later.